we headed today? You don't even know where we're going.
Gonzales, Texas.
State Park. What's the state park?
Palmetto.
You cheated.
Palmetto.
Where are we going after that?
San Marcos, Texas, to see our lovely child.
Hey y'all, thank you for watching our third episode. Our first stop for this trip was at Palmetto State Park in Gonzales, or near Gonzales, Texas. We had a really good time here. It was nice and spacious, except for the drive-in. As you can see, very narrow roads. So I would, if I were checking in, make sure you check in after the 2 o'clock time, when the previous people that were staying are out of there, because I can't imagine if I were to come in early here and have to pass another rig. There was just no room to do that. And in fact, I was a little bit anxious just trying to get to the park without having to pass someone. Once we got into the sites, you can tell that they're a little bit tight as far as getting in there, but there's plenty of room in between each other. There's trees to maneuver around, but that's the great part of being at a state park usually is, at least in this neck of the woods, is you get plenty of shade and big spacious sites. As you can see, there's a Class A motorhome that was next to us. Took us a few times to back in, but got in there no problem. All in all, it was a great stay. We had some hiking the next morning that we did before we went out and headed to San Marcos, and I'll just kind of let you enjoy the scenery of that hike and the San Marcos River. After our hike that morning, we loaded up and headed to San Marcos. It was a short drive, and we checked into Pecan Park Riverside RV Park, right on the San Marcos River. After we got all set up, we went to Three Dudes Winery, which is right down the road from our RV park, and I did a wine tasting there, and we got a tour of their area where they bottle and cork the wine.
This is where the magic happens. And all of the tanks that have pumps on them are working.
Gotcha.
So
That was really good.
yeah. And then like this is our super filter. So I don't know if I mentioned that to you too. So we filter all of our wines with this microfilter, and so it takes out a lot of the impurities and even some of the tannins.
Okay.
So it's almost like a top shelf wine.
Good.
You will not have a headache like you do
Right.
with something that you pull off the shelf.
I noticed that.
So-
Almost immediately. Sometimes
Yeah.
that gives you a.
And then if there are any sugars from the grapes that didn't get fermented, they come out in here too. So you don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And then with the drain, it's really easy to sanitize everything before we bottle. We do it by hand. Here's our bottler. Boom, boom, boom. We got a corker.
Cool.
And so we rearrange everything and set it up, and it takes about 6 of us 3 hours to do about 100 cases.
Okay.
How often do they make it?
I say on average about once a month, but like we're gonna do a double bottling in 2 weeks, which I've never done. So hopefully that works out. But we'll do a couple in 1 or 2, we'll do like 3 in a month.
Yeah.
And then we won't for a couple months, and then we'll do like 2 more in a couple of months, but it's really just as we need it.
I got you.
Our wine's really green, so like when our inventory starts to get low, then and so a lot of that too is like our fermentation process is only about 6 months. So
Gotcha.
We can get away with that.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
The next morning, we got up and drove to Hamilton Pool Preserve, which is about an hour's drive from where we stayed in San Marcos. And it's about a half-mile trail down to the actual pool and then back up. The trail wasn't that hard. It was difficulty level was, medium if you have decently working knees. If you have knee problems, I wouldn't suggest it. It did kind of bother Phil's knee. But we managed to get down in there, and boy, was it worth it. This was, besides seeing our son, the highlight of our trip. I hope you really enjoy this as much as I did. Even on a cloudy day, it was just absolutely beautiful.
Well, we can find out. Big old butt.
I left Phil's comment in there
take
on
the voice
purpose
out, right?
because that's the way he is. And I want y'all to get to know him as well. A couple notes about Hamilton Pool. Just make sure you check their website. You might have to have a reservation to go there. And you can't bring your pets. We were there in the off season on a weekday, so we didn't need a reservation. Gizmo.
Guess you ain't sitting on that right.
No, there ain't much on it. God. Can't have anything nice.
Yeah, we're in the whole rock.
You can sit right there.
Alright.
Alright. What do you think about this trip?
It's alright. This park sucks.
Why?
I don't know.
We're right by a pretty river, but
Sucks is a hard word.
so it doesn't really suck. The sites where we're at, which is along the river, which are hard to get, are very small, close together. So you have to be very neighborly.
Yeah.
They're gravel. But I mean, a lot of places are, so
It's an older park.
it's an older park.
Come here. Get out of
But,
here.
I mean, I showed you some footage of the river. You really can't beat that.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. What else? It's got 2 dog parks. So there's some off-leash areas to take these 2 little turds. And it's a large park. It's lots of spots.
Very.
How'd you feel about the area to back in?
It's tight. Manageable.
Our rig's 35 foot. If we had a larger rig, we probably wouldn't be in the spot on the river. We'd probably have to have something else like a pull through. We came from the state park. We came from Palmetto State Park, and that was really tight as far as putting in the 35 foot fifth wheel. It took Phil a couple of times, but that was pretty.
Yeah. A lot nicer than this.
It was very rustic. They did have 50 amp hookup, which a lot of state parks don't. You have to go off 30, so that was really nice. Really tight roads. So if you're coming in around the time people are checking out, not a good idea. You might want to hang off until the afternoon because passing each other on that road would be tough. You'd have to pull over and there's lines of trees on the side of the road. But other than that, it was a really nice stay for one. We just stayed one night. Highlight of the trip so far has been Hamilton Pool Preserve. That was pretty awesome. We've been to Hawaii, and we've been on the road to Hana, and we've also taken a helicopter ride over Kauai on the Nepali coast. And even though that is magnificent and awe-inspiring, you can't imagine how beautiful that is. It's one of those things that brought me to tears. It was so pretty. This was a real surprise to just be in Texas, basically 3 hours from us. Can't believe I've never been there or really heard about it until I started RVing and started watching camping sites and things. So I got a "that's pretty neat" from him, that doesn't happen very often.
Nope.
So, but we were here in the winter. It was about in the 50s. The hike down was, it would be challenging if you had any knee problems. Phil has a bad knee, and it was hurting him on the way down, but on the way back up, it was okay for him.
Come here.
We had to take a couple of little rests because we're out of shape. But it was a good time. Right? Mm-hmm. Really glad we went. And that's about an hour from here where we're staying. So, you guys know. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? You want to be in the video? Huh? Well, today we're going to be spending time with Brandon, and we're going to go see Green, which I've never been to. We're going to buy him a washer and dryer, his Christmas gift. He's moved into a new home, so won't be recording that, but that's what we're going to do today, and then we're back off to home tomorrow. So, see y'all next time. hope you like this episode. Please like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on our video. And tune in next time for a visit to the Houston RV Show. See you next time.